Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Atlas. I am the Radio Man 03. It is awesome to have you along. You're probably asking yourself, Radio, didn't you just do this last episode? You'd be right. You would be right. Her name's Ivory. Atlas is breaking my heart, ladies and gentlemen. It's just breaking my heart. I worked so hard to, work on this game and get things going, and just recently I have been having a heck of a time with the game. I've had a bunch of crashes. The reason I'm here taming another rhino is because she's stuck in the door. Hold on, darling. Hold on. Is because toughness vanished into thin air on the way back to the Jaded Alcove. Just up and vanished. You guys have told me it's happened to you. I crossed from one tile into another, and poof, she was no longer on the front of Revenge here. She's no longer there. Just gone. That was about halfway back home. And everybody just kind of sat down right here. That'd be great if you could hand right there. So I lost her. I don't know what happened to her. You guys have told me about that bug, and I'm imagining that that's exactly what happened. There was no storm. There was nothing like that going on. Just flat out disappeared on me. So, yeah, it was like really smooth sailing back home, and I was just kind of enjoying it, thinking, oh, man, we got the rhino, and we're doing all right, and things are looking good. And then, poof, like I said, she just disappeared, literally disappeared. And then, so I made it all the way back. You could see that our handling sail is painted now. So I painted that back when we got to Jaded Alcove. I got the all-fed squirt put back there. Our Ostrich is there. The Buzzard Fancy is there. But again, toughness disappeared. I named her Ivory just because of her tusk. Her horn. But, yeah, Ivory, I think is a pretty good name for her with that white horn, and the white horn's coming out of her head like that. She looks beautiful. So, that's the first time that has ever happened to me in the game. Ever. In all the time I've been playing, and I've got, 300-400 hours on this. Not as much as some of you do, but, that it was like, oh, man, I lost the rhino. What the heck happened to it? On the way back, I got here, I anchored, and I logged out because it took me about an hour and a half to sail back here. That's why I haven't had any videos. Over the weekend, I was just trying to get back here to get another rhino so we could resume playing. When we got back here, I logged off. When I logged back on, guess who's missing now? Cyclone. She's gone. She just vanished off the ship deck. And then right after a little bit of time went by, boom, game crashed, fatal error. And I was kind of hoping nobody else would disappear on me, and so far, so good. Nobody else has vanished on me at the moment. Now, some of you have mentioned that you've had this happen quite often, and I think it's one of those things that happens to people, and then they decide they're not going to play anymore because, well, it's expensive to have that happen. When you spend 2 hours taming a rhino, because it was difficult, thank goodness this time around, it went really smooth. It took me a long time to find one. She's a little higher level than the last one. She started out as a 24. Toughness was a 21, so she's leveled out at a 35. And what does she have for weight? 1,300. I think that's pretty comparable to what our other rhinoceros had. And so, I don't know what to say. It kind of breaks my heart to have things like that happen on the game because, again, we all work so hard to enjoy the game and have fun, and when then something like that happens, it's just like, it's kind of a gross feeling, It's like, oh my gosh. So, and then to lose Cyclone on top of that really bummed me out because I really did love Cyclone. She wasn't a super high level cat, but she was our cat, and she was black, and she was just beautiful. She was just a beautiful cat. But, so I don't know what happened to her. I don't know. She just, again, like I said, she just vanished. So I came back here to get the rhino. We still have tsunami. I've not seen any lions on the beach. I had considered grabbing perhaps a lion, but I've not been able to find one here on the beach that's worth getting. They're all been very low level, and To be honest, ever since I set out on this journey with you guys to explore islands, I've had nothing but bad luck. I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody didn't touch the horseshoe on the ship and make sure that it was okay, but it's been pretty awful. It's been pretty awful. And I don't blame some of you, because some of you have mentioned that you've actually traveled home and found your entire base gone. With all of your Tames gone, or on your ship's gone and all your stuff is gone. It's just really, it's really a shame. And to me, what I believe is that they need to make sure they get these game devastating bugs fixed as quickly as possible. Oh, there you go, Ivory, beautiful. Nice work, sweetheart. Okay, let's see if we can't get her another level 3 saddle here. I can't imagine losing everything. I can tell you right now that if I were to lose everything in the game, I would not play again until I was completely rest assured that we were not going to have any more of these type of issues happening again. Because, like I said, it is a lot of work to put into a game, only to have it steal things away from you that you can't get back. It's gone, you know. It just doesn't seem very fair to have that sort of stuff happen. Why am I doing this? I could just bring him up onto the ship. Well, I'm going to take this off of him this time. This kind of is a little intrusive to have on him when you're trying to get him on the ship. He was wearing this on the ship. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but, you know, he was wearing his cart on the ship. But everyone was situated really nicely on there, so I'm not really sure why that happened. Something else happened. On the way back out here, I was close to an island and a storm hit, and we actually did have cyclones happen, which was kind of an interesting thing because I haven't had that happen for quite a while. One of the cyclones hit us. I had managed to make my way to the shorelines of an island, and I was just kind of sitting there, and as we were sitting there, these got really close to us. The cyclones did. And it eventually bumped the ship once, and I felt it because I took a little bit of pain. But it actually knocked Cyclone off the ship completely, removed her from the ship. And as I sailed away, I realized she wasn't on the ship, and as I looked back, I could see her bobbing in the water. Well, I just had to get close enough to her whistle, and she came right back on the ship, which is fantastic. By the way, thank you. One of you let me know this. I could not remember where I saw this, but when you look at this right here, it tells you, bottom right-hand corner of that box, that this is a creature, and it's going to require a Tier 3 saddle. It's a Tier 3 creature, so thank you for letting me know that. I just had not noticed it there. I thought for some reason it was in here somewhere, but it's not. But right bottom right-hand corner, you can see it says Tier 3. So that tells you what saddle you need to have for your tame. Anyway, so disappointed, extremely, very much disappointed. I feel like the bugs that I'm experiencing right now are bugs that you guys have told me about, as I've mentioned. But I feel like these are bugs that should be addressed immediately. Immediately when they're found, they should be addressed, and it should be like the #1 priority to work on to get these kind of bugs taken care of and removed so that we don't have this happening. Nobody wants to play that way. And so I hope that they are working hard on resolving these issues that we've been having on the game. It needs to be done. Oh, I was going to grab one of these guys right here. Let's drop that. And can I even move? Barely. Okay, so we need to throw a little bit more on him. Maybe I can get this all on him and he could just come into the ship. Looks like he's going to be able to carry all of that stuff. I'll carry the food. I want this right here because I wanted to add a lever to the gate. So when you bring an animal in here to tame it, this, by the way, still is a great island to come out and tame things. It really is. Let's go to set pin code. We'll just do 4 ones. We're going to come over here, set pin code. There we go, and we need to do it one more time. You know what? It just occurred to me that maybe that's not such a good idea. We're going to have revolving doors now. Yeah. That might not work since I've got doors on both sides. I guess I could have 2 levers, one for each door. Because this is just nice. Once you get the animal in the trap and they're up against the door and you have to close the other door behind them, it'll be nice to be able to do this in order to get that door closed, and you don't have to worry about getting hit, which is always a nice thing. So that's my bit of a rant, showing a bit of my disappointment. I love Atlas. I do. I've been, I would say, a supporter of Atlas. But that sort of stuff, I can understand why people leave a game. I can understand that. Because, yeah, if I were to lose my whole base, there is no way I can make up all of this time. I just don't have time to be able to do something like that. And who wants to watch somebody start all over from the beginning over and over and over again? You know, for me, if I was playing by myself, sure, why not? We could do that. We could start over again. Oh, well, there we go. Nice work, Kodiak. Oh, you're stuck on her butt. So I'm going to try this again and see if I can get everybody home this time. I'm hoping I... Oh, no. Tell me Kodiak stayed on the ship. He did. Okay, beautiful. He got stuck. All right, good deal. So we're going to do that right there. And that should be good. Okay, Kodiak, you're good to go. I don't know what else to say about it other than I've experienced some of the things you guys have experienced, and it is devastating. It really is devastating, especially to lose Cyclone. The Rhino, I wasn't getting attached to the Rhino or anything like that. I hadn't known it for very long. But in my game, I get pretty attached to my animals, and when they die, it bothers me. And to lose it that way is one thing. That's just not cool, to have it just disappear because you crossed one tile. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, you can see the lines in between what we've got going on here. As you cross over, the screen freezes up, and I'm not sure exactly where it happened. Somewhere you can see the route I took. I kind of went over to J6, K6, and down into L7, then to M8. And on the way back, I kind of cut across that. It's just based on what the wind is doing for me. But it's a bit of a ways to travel. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half real time to sail across this, especially when the wind is not with you. And so sometimes I guess that's kind of what happens, right? Is you cross those tiles and they vanish. Now, why Cyclone would vanish while we're sitting right here? I mean, in this exact spot, right where Kodiak is. Why I should log out and log back in and have her gone? I have no explanation for that. I have no idea why something like that would happen. I can see when crossing tiles things happen because there's a big glitch and a big load and things going on. But just sitting here and logging in and having her gone, it was pretty devastating. It's pretty devastating. But here we are. I'm gonna keep going and see how things go. But I want you to know right now, things have been a little bit rough for me. I've had several crashes. Fatal errors and things like that showing up on the game, and that makes me extremely nervous, very nervous. The sun's going down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get myself a little something to eat because my food's going down and we have to sail. I have to sail home and get to the Jaded Alcove and get, hopefully, Ivory here back on dry land at our place. I hope we can make it there this time. So I'm going to eat, get that all set up, then I'm going to set sail, and I'll bring you guys back if anything exciting happens. So it's been a few days since we've had an episode. Last Friday, Braddy let me know just before I left work that she was coming home early. And she was supposed to have this week off. This is May 21st, 2020 right now. And we spent Friday afternoon in the yard, Saturday in the yard, Sunday in the yard. It was really nice being outside all weekend long, doing some yard work and just hanging out and barbecuing. And it was the best weekend I could say I've honestly had in 2020. The worst year of my life. I don't know about you, but it's the worst year ever of my life. And then Wednesday, the 20th of May, was her birthday. So it was kind of her birthday week. She was supposed to have the week off, but somebody at work got sick. Another person got sick. They've got, of course, to go through the testing and all that stuff. And so with the shortage of staff at work, she got called off of vacation and had to go back to work, unfortunately. So I may not have had any episodes at all this week if she'd been home. But that's not how it worked out. But we've got another nice weekend coming up. At least I'm hoping. Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. But we're going to have a nice Memorial Day weekend, I hope. And that'll be fun. So that's why I haven't had videos in probably about 5 days. I think it's been almost a week now since we've had Atlas on. And I tried over the weekend to find a little bit of time here and there. But again, like I said, Rhino disappeared. Cyclone disappeared. Sailing, of course, takes forever. We got a little over 13 knots right now. We are on our way home, and we are going through J7. We have to make our way over to M8, so we still have a little ways to go. Ran into ships of the damned a couple of times. I fully expect to run into them several more times before we get back, and they always slow you down because you got to go around them and stuff like that. I probably could try to go through them, but we've got cargo. I want to get Ivory back home and get everybody back home and off the ship and just kind of take a breather and say, whew, okay, we made it. This adventure this time out has been truly that, an adventure and some very weird oddities taking place at the same time. So I'm going to keep on sailing. Hopefully I've got time. I've got about an hour to an hour and a half left in my record day, so we'll see just how much time we have left by the time we get back to the Jaded Alcove. Something else I've noticed. The wind has not changed directions in the last several times that I have played. Now, typically, when you get a storm, it takes the wind and it shifts it around. And when the storm ends, you can watch that wind arrow move around the screen, and usually it's nice because it kind of shifts the wind, and sometimes, if not all the time, it kind of benefits your point of travel. I went through quite a few storms coming back out to replace our Rhino, and I've noticed that the wind has gone back to the exact same location every single time. So to travel northwest or to travel southeast, you can't quite get that wind directly where you want it to be to get you moving nice and fast. So I don't know if that's something wrong with the game right now or not, but I just noticed that the wind is always just like that after every storm, where it should adjust itself. I believe that's the case. It should adjust itself and be pointing in a different direction, thus allowing you to hopefully, get better wind or a better course. We made it. Nobody disappeared. We made it. We're home. Don't know about the anchor job here, but we are home. What's this supposed to mean? Huh. Did you see the cart? There's no wheels on it. Lucy, you were under the ground a little bit. Why is there no wheels on the cart? That looks really weird. There's Fancy up there. Boom. Got our crew here. We got our Ostrich. Ecuador seems to be missing a saddle. Yeah. Ecuador is missing her saddle. Let's get everybody off the ship and onto land before we run into any more issues here. I don't know what's going on with my game. I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you. I don't know what's going on here. Boy, this is going to take a little while. We're going to have to go into our village there and see if there's anything else missing here. No, don't break the tree. Oh, it's okay. We can plant another one there. I was wondering about that, if she'd break it. Okay, she's a sizable girl, for sure. XP, huh? Wait, 52.8 pounds, huh? That's all you're gonna get? Let's give her a little bit of stamina. Okay. I think that's so funny. Alright, and tsunami. By the way, Ecuador's cart was not like that last time I was here, which was just over the weekend. Poor Cyclone is gone. I really like Cyclone. You might notice that this does not exactly sit very well, this cargo container on the dock. It's a little wishy-washy here. It's kind of in it, but it works, I guess. Yeah, it's really loading and unloading oddly here right now. Alright, let's go through town and see what we've got going on in here. Anything missing? Anything else missing? Oh, wow, she can almost jump this wall. Look at that. It looks to me like everything's okay at the moment. We got the start of our tannery over here, if you remember right. Need to get her some food. 6,919 water in there. That all looks relatively normal down there. There's our tiki. All of our plants and stuff are here. The modded plants. I don't know that anything oh, there's a croc. Checking to see if the metal nodes are over here or not. Well, there's a couple here. That's good. So some of the stuff, I was wondering if things actually, you know, function here while we're not here. I see a couple metal nodes here too. So we're back in business on the metal, which is great. We have to get our parrot back. We do have Sarge, so we have that, but we also need to get our monkey back. A fog event rolling in. So far so good. Other than Ecuador's saddle, Everything here looks relatively normal. The doors work. There's Squirt. She's here. I'm not sure how to fill her with water. How's this look out here? Our house. The mushroom. I think we're okay. We just have to replace Ecuador's saddle. Now, why her saddle would disappear, that's beyond me. I have no idea why these things are happening. If you know, let me know. And I'll be sure to report this to the developers of Atlas and let them know, hey, your game is stealing stuff from me, and I don't like it, not one bit. I'm trying to play your game and have fun with your game, and I love the game. I do. I really do love it. I hope there's no doubt about that. It's the working for hours on something and having it just taken away from you in the blink of an eye that really bothers me the most. Ecuador, how come you don't have your saddle? What happened to it? You don't know? Oh, she pooped. Okay, that explains that. So, I have been recording since we left the island, where we picked up our beautiful new rhino ivory here. It took 46 minutes to sail from there to here. That's a bit of time. But we have our rock gatherer now, assuming she stays here. We have our rock gatherer, we have our wood gatherer, we have our thatch gatherer, and we have our hauler of the things here with Kodiak and, of course, Ecuador here. We do have Sarge, which we can grab him back and put him on our shoulder. So we've got our parrot back, and all should be well. I hope. I hope, guys. I hope. If you enjoyed today's episode, do hit that like button for me. Comment, subscribe, and share. I'm the Radio Man 03. I want you to have an awesome, a fantastic, and a superb day. And I look forward to talking to you again next time.